I'm sitting in a pile of leaves. It is summertime, and normally people get rid of these leaves in the fall, but I like to keep them. And the reason they're here is because I want to talk to you about compost. And I don't know what you think of when you think of the word compost, but compost for some kids is a yucky pail of food wastes. Some people think compost is, I don't know, you all have ideas of what compost is, but I know compost is dirt, really good dirt. So let me tell you about it. I save these leaves every fall. I even collect them from my neighbors and my friends. And then at this time of year, I get grass. And I'm going to tell you about making a compost pile. Now what you have to know is that a compost pile is a living thing. Like, you know how you need air, water, food? Well, a compost pile needs air, water, and food. So, the food is not plastic. The food is green stuff and brown stuff. And what I do is I take some brown stuff, I take some green stuff, and I mix it together. And I don't even stir it or anything. I just kind of just pile it up. And when I get a pile of this, like this, would you believe it's actually quite hot in here? Like right now outside, I don't know what the temperature is in Fahrenheit. It's maybe, what do you think, Margaret? 60 degrees? 70 degrees? But listen, if you were to take this thing, it's warm. It actually sometimes is so hot that I can't even touch it. That means your compost is very happy. It's got food, it's got water, because I keep it, the rain comes on it, it gets a bit wet, and it's got air, because every once in a while I'll come along and I'll go like this, so that it gets air inside. So food, water, air. I leave it. In a year, it turns into that. Just by leaving it, it turns into what looks kind of like dirt. It's a bit coarse, it's got stuff in it. But look, if you take it and put it through a strainer, this is a big strainer I use. And look at this. This is like the stuff you buy in a bag. Why would you want to buy it if you can just make it using leaves and grass? Now, this compost that I've made, I use this on my flowers. I only use it on my flowers and in my perennial garden bed. Do you want to get Charlie over there? What is Charlie after? Can you see that dog? Charlie, come here. Charlie, uh-oh, something's there. I don't think I'm going to stay and find out. Let's keep going compost. Charlie, come. Come on, Charlie. Okay, now, as I said, this compost I only use for my flowers. You know why? Because a lot of people, when they have a lawn, they put chemicals on it to help it grow. They use chemicals to kill the weeds. So I don't want these chemicals on my vegetable garden. So this stuff is great for my flowers. I call this my non-edible, non-food grade compost. But come on over here and I'll show you the compost that I make for my vegetables. Come on over. Now, you notice when I made that compost pile, it's just a pile. Some of you may have one of these in your backyard. Some of you may have one of these in your backyard. Composters can be just about anything. As long as if you make a little compost pile, it doesn't cook very much. It doesn't break down very much. But if you have a if you can make it a good size, it's pretty good. Okay, this one I just mixed up yesterday, so it's about the same temperature as that. Now this one here is different because because in there I put some leaves, and I have some cuttings, but none of this has had chemicals sprayed on it. And what you see in here is, ooh, that's warm. But take a look at the kind of stuff I put in. I put in onion tops, I put in pea shells, banana peels, old lettuce, potato peelings, and I pour it into the compost. Those are the greens. I put some of this on top. Those are the browns. And this one here, probably by the fall, will look like this over here. So this here is my food grade compost. Here's some eggshells that don't quite break down, but that's okay. So this is my food grade compost. Again, you got chunky food and leaves and it turns into that. And look what happens if you strain it through a fine strainer. Look how beautiful that is. And do you know how much your carrots and your cucumbers and your tomatoes love this stuff? If you put this compost around your seeds or plant your seeds in here, they are very, very happy. Okay? Food, green and browns, water. I do actually fill this jar with water. When I dump my compost here, I always have water and air. Remember how I told you I didn't mix up that compost? I want this one to go fast. So I actually mix it up a little bit once or twice a year. Okay, and I think that's all I have to tell you about my flower compost and my food compost. And then I'll tell you about a third kind of compost in a minute.